let's start with a super quick revision of the refunds chapter under customs. Okay, refunds under GST we have already done. You have already seen the revision lecture also. Now let's start with refunds under customs. This is super simple. Okay, this is super simple. Now, first of all, what will lead to refund, or when will this refund situation arise? So whenever there was any excess duty paid to the government, or whenever there is any duty paid to the government erroneously, maybe because of lack of information, maybe because we did not know that duty is not payable, or maybe when the duty was subsequently exempted by the government. Okay, so then we can go and claim the refund of duty from the authorities. Yes, now for that only 4 sections are there in the chapter. Section 27, 27A. Okay, 26, 26A. These are the 4 sections that we have to do in the chapter. The most important section, that is section number 27, which talks about application for refund of duty or refund of interest. So they are telling that, first of all, who is eligible for this refund? So can we say any person who has paid, okay, any person who has paid this taxes, or any person who has paid this interest, or any person who has ultimately borne this duty or this interest, that person can go and make an application to the ACDC of the customs and can go and make an application for the refund in the prescribed form and manner along with the proper evidence. Okay, you can go and file the refund application. Now, first of all, this refund application has to be filed within what time period? So normally they say that when any importer is going and filing any, importer or exporter we can say, is going and filing any refund application, then that has to be filed within a time period of 1 year from the date of making the payment of the taxes. Means whenever you have paid the taxes, from that day within 1 year, go and file the refund application. Okay, suppose if the consumer is going and consumer is the person who has ultimately borne the burden of the taxes. If that person is going and taking a refund, then he has to go and file a refund application within 1 year from the date of purchase of the goods. Okay, normally for importer exporter it was 1 year from the date of payment. Okay, for consumer it is 1 year from the date of purchase of such goods. Okay, or when I am eligible for refund of duty because of an exemption order passed by the government. Okay, passed by way of a notification order, etc. Then in such cases, 1 year time period is going to start from the date of such order. Okay, or when I am eligible for duty, when I am eligible for refund of the duty because of some judgment, order, decree, appeal order, etc. passed by any court, etc. Then 1 year time period is going to start from the date of such judgment. Okay, or initially I had done initially in my case provisional assessment was done, I paid some duty, then final assessment was done, and in final assessment I came to know that there is some duty that is refundable to me. So whenever that duty was adjusted, whenever the calculations was done, from that day within 1 year I have to go and file a refund application. Are you clear with this? Yes, so basically 1 year time period is applicable, 1 year time period from respective dates is applicable for going and filing the refund application. But if you have paid any duty under protest, okay, when you have paid any duty under protest, then in that case 1 year time period is not applicable to such refund application. Means anytime you can go and get the refund. And yes, whenever, common point under section 27, whenever you're going and filing a refund claim, if the amount is less than rupees 100, you are not going to get any refund. So minimum amount is equal to 100 or above for claiming any refund. Yes, another important thing is whenever you are going and filing a refund claim, you also have to attach the evidence along with that you are eligible for the refund. Okay, ma'am, how will you prove that you are eligible for the refund? You will have to prove that you have borne the burden of the tax and you have not passed it on to any other person. Then only you will be eligible for refund claim. I hope you are able to recollect and reconnect with the refunds under GST here. And once your application is filed to the customs authority and if it is complete, then you will be eligible for refund. But if the provisions of, or if the principle of unjust enrichment is applicable, okay, if the principle of unjust enrichment is applicable, then the refund will not be paid to you, whereas the refund will be credited to the consumer welfare fund. Okay, now since we have discussed about this unjust enrichment, let's talk about it in detail. Now we know that I've already told you this, still I will just repeat it once for you. Now we know that if suppose I am the person who has paid the duty to the customs authority and I have passed on the burden to someone else, I have passed on the burden to the consumer, and now if I go and claim the refund from the customs authority, then can we say this is wrong? because I have already passed on the burden to someone else. I have not borne it, and I am asking for the refund of that duty. Okay, so this is called as the principle of unjust enrichment. Okay, now suppose if that consumer goes and asks for the refund, will he be eligible for refund in that case? Yes, he will be eligible, because he is the person who has borne the burden of the tax in such a case. Okay, so if I have not borne the burden and if I still go and ask for refund, then that there is a principle of unjust enrichment. I will not get the refund, rather refund will be credited to the consumer welfare fund. Okay, but if someone else who has actually borne the burden of the tax, if that person goes and asks for the refund, then he will be eligible for the refund. Okay, so there are some 7 circumstances. Okay, only there are some 7 circumstances where you will be eligible, means where the person who has gone and filed the refund application, that person will be eligible for the refund claim. Okay, means can we say this is exception to unjust enrichment? Okay, means in these cases refund will not be credited to consumer welfare fund, whereas refund will be paid to the applicant's account. Okay, first one, if the importer or exporter has not passed on the burden to anyone else. Okay, second one, if the import was done for my personal use, then obviously I am going to use it, I am not going to pass on the burden to anyone else. Third one, if the buyer has not borne the, if the buyer who has borne the, if there is a buyer consumer who has borne the duty and tax and he has not passed on the burden to anyone else. Okay, next one we are going to study it separately under section number 26. That is, if suppose I had exported some goods on payment of export duty. Okay, I'll teach you here itself. If I have exported certain goods by payment of export duty and later on the other country's person rejected my goods, then can we say the goods are going to come back to our country? Then in such case the exporter who is claiming the refund of the export duty will be eligible for such refund. Okay, or if it relates to duty drawback under section 74-75, or if you are such a applicant who has been notified by the government that you will be eligible for refund, if government notifies, then you will get the refund. Okay, and last one, if the duty is paid in excess. Okay, if the duty is paid in excess by the importer, maybe he was doing self-assessment and instead of 100 he took it as 200, there was a mistake and that mistake is clearly evident, then in such cases he will be eligible for the refund. Are you clear with this? Yes. Then the next point which is coming up here is section number 27A. Okay, so till here whatever we did was coming under section number 27. Now going on to the second section of the chapter, that is section number 27A, which says interest on delayed refunds. Now whenever we went and made an application, okay, 1 year except in case of duty under protest, when we went and made an application, our application would be received by the department. So whenever they receive my refund application, from that day within 3 months they have to pay me the refund. If they do not refund me that amount, then they will be liable to pay me interest at the rate of 6% after the expiry of 90 days till the date of refund. So basically after 3 days, if it is not refunded within 3 months, if it is not refunded within a time period of 3 months, then as soon as that 3 months time period get over, 90 days was there in the previous chapter, as soon as this 3 months time period get over, after the expiry of 3 months, the interest meter is going to start at the rate of 6% on the custom duty, and this interest meter will go on till the date of payment of a refund. Are you clear with this? Acha, sometimes it can so happen that order was passed by any order, judgment, etc. was given by any appeal authority, court, tribunal, etc. That amount is refundable to Arpita, and Arpita did not file a refund application. Then that does not mean that Arpita will not get the refund. She will get the refund. Okay, refund has to be paid to me within 3 months from the date of their order. Okay, let's say High Court passed an order that Arpita is eligible for refund. Arpita should have gone and filed a refund application. She forgot to file the refund application. Then in that case, the department has to refund the amount to me within 3 months from the date of order of the High Court. Are you clear with this? Yes. Then section number 26 we have already discussed. Section 26 is talking about refund of that export duty on the goods which we had exported but which got rejected from the other country. So we have re-imported the goods back. So in such cases, refund will be allowed to us if we go and make an application within a time period of 6 months. Yes. Okay, and then next special section, section number 26A, which says that suppose if you had imported some goods. Okay, suppose if you have imported some goods and such goods are found to be defective or those are not as per proper specifications. Okay, and you have not tampered with the goods, means you have not done any repair on the goods to make it non-defective, etc. And the officer has, commissioner has identified that yes, these defective goods are nothing but the imported goods. Then in such cases, now these goods are of no use to us, but we have already paid the import duty on the same. So either if you export it back, or if you relinquish it, or if you destroy it, then in that case you will be eligible for the refund of the import duty paid at the time of import. Are you clear with this? Provided you make a refund application within a time period of 6 months. Okay, if you have exported the goods back to the other country, then 6 months from the date when the export order was passed. Or if you have relinquished the goods, then 6 months from the date of relinquishment, you have to go and make an refund application. Or if you have destroyed the goods, then 6 months from the date of such destruction, you have to go and file a refund application. Then you will be eligible for refund if all those conditions are fulfilled. Yes, and the next one, last point which is coming up here is sometimes it so happens that there was an order. Okay, there was an order from the department that you are eligible for refund of 2 lakh rupees. Okay, for example, there was an order from the department that you are eligible for a refund of 2 lakh rupees. Okay, I did not do anything for, let's say, 6 months. Okay, later, I directly go and file a refund application for 5 lakh rupees of refund. How much was written in the order, assessment order? In the order, it was written that I am eligible for a refund of 2 lakh rupees. Okay, I did not do anything for 6 months. Directly after 6 months, I went and filed a refund claim for 5 lakh rupees. Now here the department says that, boss, if you had any problem with that refund of 2 lakh rupees, you should have come and file an appeal within a time period of 60 days. If you did not file the appeal, now you are directly filing a refund claim. This is not sustainable. This is not allowed. Okay, refund amount will be paid to you on the basis of the order. How much was the order of earlier? Order was of 2 lakh rupees. So now you are eligible for 2 lakh rupees. Suppose if you had any dispute with this 2 lakh rupees, you could have filed an appeal within a time period of 60 days. If you file the appeal within 60 days, then a final order will be passed. On the basis of that final order, the refund will be paid to you. Okay, but you, instead of going for an appeal, if you directly go and file a refund claim, then they say that this is totally not sustainable. This is not allowed, because the refund claim is not a substitute for appeal. This is what they say. Appeal is altogether different. Appeal is the place where you have issues. Okay, the place where you have issues, you go for an appeal, and refund claim is just disbursement of refund on the basis of the order which is already passed. Are you clear with this? So you cannot merge both of them together. This was all about your refund sections. I hope you are very, very clear with this. Yes, section number 27, this exception to principle of unjust enrichment, super duper important. Interest, please remember your 3 months. Don't make the mistake of 90 days here. Okay, interest is payable, refund is to be paid within 3 months. If not paid, from the next day, interest is going to start at the rate of 6%. Because we are going to get interest, therefore lower rate of interest, that is at the rate of 6%. 26A is important. Okay, section number 26A is important, which is talking about your import duty on that defective goods, etc. Okay, this much if you do, it is manageable. Done.